Hey, glad you could make it. Now, first, do me a favor and pick which game you want to play.
Oh, you're a doll. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, how many people do we have? A fine choice. Now, player one, why don't you type your name in? Thank you much. Player two, let's have your thanks.
45 seconds.
Yes,
Player one, your
A
buzzer is the
as
letter
Joe,
Q, as in
meaning ask
quality
me
service.
how to end the show.
And player two, you
about
have the
just
letter
saying
P,
courage?
as in petroleum
Strong,
jelly.
That is wrong. It's my
Kind of mysterious.
It's a game show, not prostate surgery, okay?
20 seconds.
Okay, heads up. Here's how the game works. The first one of you to buzz in on a question gets first stab at the answer. So you buzz in and then press 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on which answer you want. You read me? Good.
10.
Good luck.
9. 8.
And get rid of the desktop.
5.
Take it to black.
4.
Here we go.
3.
Timothy, don't just play God, be God.
Daddy.
ACS, alligators crafted.
Alternating current.
Angelic Claudia
Cold shoulder. Acrophobia coming soon.
Acrophobia, the hilarious word game that puts your creativity on the line.
It's time for the show where high culture and pop culture collide. And Josh Schmitzenstein takes the plate. Here's the pitch, the swing, and it's out of the park! The crowd is going wild! Schmitty has done it again! He has done it again! Excuse me, I'm sorry. I was just living out a little fantasy of mine. I'll be right with you. I want to finish up here. And here comes the Kissing Bandit to cover our hero Schmitty with kisses. Okay, now I'm ready. Hey, did I mention it was our World Series episode? Good. First, I need to hand out some screws. Here you go to the both of you, one screw each. So here's what you do with these screws. If you think your neighbor doesn't know the answer to a question, but you want to make them answer it anyway, buzz in and then hit the S key to screw them. All right, you ready? Let's start. Let's have a category.
Question number 1.
For your enjoyment, the secret signal for Up Yours. Let's see what you'll do for $1,000. Okay, no outs. Men at first and third. The manager touches his cap and his nose, giving the signal for bunt. Player one! A bunting is a thick hooded type thing that wraps a baby up like a little sausage. And the player is so cute that even though he strikes out, the umpire lets him on base. Hey, it works for Bugs Bunny. Player one, give me a category. This category is known as Fly Ball Deep to Finland. $3,000 for this one. Okay, get out your passports. It seems the World Series is so big, they're actually going to use the whole world as the baseball diamond. Imagine home plate is Antarctica, the North Pole is center field, and the pitcher's mound is in the Sudan. Where's first base? Player two, you gotta answer it. Have you ever spent any time in Canada? Definitely left field. What do you say, player one? Player one, do it! If Antarctica were home plate and you batted toward the North Pole, first base would be somewhere around China. Oh, and if you're watching the game, don't get stuck in the cheap seats in Alaska. It takes the beer guy forever to get there. Player one, why don't you give me a category?
Question 3.
Let's see what we got going. The land of the free and the foam of the brave. $2,000 for correct answer. Pencils ready. Let's do it. If you're wearing a giant foam rubber #1 finger, that big foam finger with the index finger pointed up and the other fingers curled over the thumb looks most like the sign language letter D. Of course, the mere fact that you're wearing a foam finger pretty much means you're saying D for dork. Player two, how about a category?
Hallelujah! Bow your heads and pray to Thor.
This category is known as It's Root, Root, Root for the Fascists. How does $2,000 sound? Now, you know what I've been thinking is that the World Series ought to include the whole world, right? So, say the disputes of World War I were settled on the... During the early 20th century, the Triple Entente consisted of an alliance between Britain, France, and Russia. Batters out. Out on second. Out on third. That's the end of round one. We'll be back with round two right after these messages.
To learn more about an advertiser, hit any key on your keyboard. We'll show you more information after you leave the game.
Dan Hut, play chain of command at 2am.com today, soldier.
Vote.
What sport lets you wear the coolest clothes?
Vote.
Which national news anchor baby talks during commercial breaks?
Vote. Democracy depends on you.
Hugo? Yeah, Hugo Boss. The fragrance. The world is getting smaller.
Smell better.
Hugo.
Welcome back. Time to play round two, where the values are doubled. All right, y'all set? Here we go. What's it gonna be, player two?
Numero 5, and you don't know Jack.
We're calling this one, I See a Bad Moon Rising. And he's up to bat. You want $6,000? Give me your right answer. One question coming right up. Suppose the planets decide to have a galactic World Series. Neptune has just 8 moons or satellites, so it'd come up a player short. But you know what? That's okay, because really, who likes Neptune anyway? I mean, what has Neptune ever done for anybody? It's all about Neptune. Selfish bastards. Player two, what looks good?
We're a bunch of hicks and we love the question 6.
The category, buy me some peanuts and matzo balls. And this one's going to be worth $2,000. You know, if there's one thing that I always say, it's that the marriage of professional sports and religion would be a match made in heaven. Well, if only the rest of the world shared my insight. Say Major League Baseball changes the All-Star game. The Star of David is made of 2 overlapping triangles, which form, let me check my math here. Yep, 6 points. Yep, and the All-Star of David game is a much more fast-paced game than usual, too, because, you know, they have to get it finished before the sun goes down on Friday. Player two, what looks good?
7, lucky, lucky 7.
This one's called Talking Baseball in Tongues, and this one's worth $6,000. You know what would be really cool about having a World Series that involved countries from all over the world? Well, then you could see athletes who are, you know, in shape. Suppose the World Series took place... Gotta answer it, please. It is actually the name of a town in Iraq. You can find it if you head just east of the city called Scum-Sucking American Pigs and then make a right at the capitalist Devils Must Die International Airport. Hey, player two, right back at you with that screw action. Player one, tell me what's next. Oh, player two, step aside. Player one, it's time for you to play Dis or Dat. The category for this Dis or Dat question is, what is the atomic symbol for a strike? Let's see, I think I feel like reading off the names of, 7 fields, okay? And for each one, I want you to tell me if it's a ballpark or a scientific concept. As each one comes up, if it's a major league ballpark, press 1. If it's a scientific concept, press 2. And to skip it, press 4. You get $1,000 for each right answer, and you lose $1,000 for each one you get wrong, or you don't get to. Okay, you got 30 seconds. You ready? Let's dance. Wrigley Field, ballpark or concept? Magnetic Field, Edison Field, Tropicana Field, Quantum Field, Unified Field. One more, Synergy Field. That'll do it. Perfect, and with time to spare, no less. Here you go. Congratulations, let's move on. Category time, player 2.
Aloha, question number 9.
I believe this one is called The Physics of Stadium Hijinks. Heads up, this one's going to be $6,000. You know, in all my years of watching people make complete idiots of themselves at baseball games, there's something I've always wanted to know. Because the wave travels side to side and the people doing in a transverse wave, the vibrations are perpendicular to the direction of the wave. Don't worry, I don't understand either.
Wow, will you look at that baby trace that parabolic trajectory? You can bet the integral of that function's gonna be huge.
That's the end of round 2. We'll be right back with round 3 after this.
Well, beer A has sort of a stale, skunky, yeasty flavor.
Disgusting?
Nauseating.
Try beer B. Okay,
Now that's fresh!
that's Budweiser.
Get out of here, I don't believe it!
Tasting is believing.
When I tell my husband, he's gonna totally freak.
Welcome back. It's time to play round 3. Now, I'm not going to send you out there without a screw first, so here you go. One screw for everybody. All right, if everybody's ready, let's do it. Category time, player 2. Hey, bless smut with dime store.
It's time for a Tinkerlick test drum.
Let's see if you can make some sense out of this gibberish category. Weight loss secrets of the stars. The opening value of this gibberish question is $10,000. Now check this out. As the time disappears, so does the money. So the sooner you buzz in, the better. Okay, see if you can tell me what useless cliche this rhymes with. Player 2, go for it. Actually, most balls bounce the same way. Up and down and up and down. It's a physics thing. Player 2, what do you want?
It's 11 minus 1 plus 2 minus 1 is 11.
For your viewing pleasure, get your hits on Route 66. You get this one, you pocket $2,000. Okay, so you know how in New York, when their two teams were in the World Series, they called it the Subway Series, right? Well, if the cities along Route 66 had a Route 66, take a shot. While the Cubs, Cardinals, and Dodgers could all play in a Route 66 series, the Astros could not. What I'm trying to say here is Houston is not on Route 66. I guess they could switch leagues and play the Arizona Diamondbacks in a Highway 10 series, but then what would be the point? Player 2, give me a catch.
Well, let's delve into question 12.
Well, what do we have here? 2001, a Base Odyssey. And this one's going to be worth $4,000. Hey, have you seen how some teams have been sporting those futuristic uniforms this year? It's kind of creepy. Anyway, suppose that, in the future, baseball develops a Brave New World series based on the The novel Brave New World portrays a future in which humans are developed in hatcheries and conditioned from birth. Yes, and what a frightening world it would be if baseball players were conditioned from birth to be the same. Why, it's so much better now having 1,000 unique and individual crybaby personalities in baseball. Player 1, what's up?
Look at the green.
It's 13.
The category is, who cares who's on first? I'll give you 4,000 clams for this bad boy. Well, it wouldn't be a World Series episode without that baseball comedy classic, Who's On First? Why don't you listen to this old tape? I said, who's on first? Me first album was with the Attractions. No, who's on first? I was first known as Declan McManus, I ought to knock your block off. Yeah, it's a classic, all right. So who recorded this version of Who's on First? Bud Abbott and Lou Costello. Bud Abbott and Frank Costello. Bud Abbott and... Gotta answer it, player one. My close personal friend Elvis Costello was born Declan McManus, recorded with the Attractions, and had a U.S. hit with Every Day I Write the Book. Thanks a lot for coming in, Elvis. Right, Schmitty, anytime, eh? Say, and be sure to tune in next week when Harpo Marx hits Richard Marx with a sock full of manure. Hey, guess what, player two? You're screwed. Pick a category, player one.
Ain't no love like number 14.
For your viewing pleasure, time flies when you suck. I'll give you 4,000 clams for this bad boy. Hey, speaking of the World Series, we got a... Oh, hey, old man. What the hell are you doing here?
Blow it out your meat hole. I got a World Series question about my Chicago Cubbies that I've been itching to ask, man.
All right, go on.
Which of these statements about the last time the Chicago Cubbies won the World Series is not true?
The last time the Chicago Cubs won a World Series and old man took a breath without assistance was 1908.
Yeah, that was a good year, damn it.
But hey, you know, anyone could have a bad millennium.
Amen, sister.
All right, that's all around three. Now, right after these messages, you're going to have a jack attack.
So in the middle of the movie, and I'm like, oh my god, the good character is the one.
Kinda makes talking seem overrated, doesn't it? Air Crisps. One taste, and you'll be back.
Welcome to the Jack Attack. When you see two words on the screen that match, hit your buzzer. If you're right, I'll give you $2,000. If you're wrong, you're going down 2,000. But don't forget, remember the clue. Not any old word's gonna do it. It's gotta be a match that fits this clue. Could you translate that into baseball? Batter up. Your mother's really happy, and I know what makes your mother's happy. Let's look at the scores. Player one's got it. Player one, I have seen dozens of people come through this game and post solid wins, but none of them like you. They all impressed me, and they're all here to say,
You don't know Jack!
Howdy, kids. This is Pecos Bucky here, telling you to tune in next week for another exciting episode of You Don't Know Jack the Netshow. Woohoo! And they didn't even pay me to say this. Woohoo!
Good show, everyone. You've made me very proud. Cookie, could you ask the players what they want to do next?
If you guys are interested in another game, just let me know. All right.
Hold the chicken salad. That's what he wants to order.
No.
Because he likes the chicken,
Okay, fine.
the flavor. To